Hey everyone, welcome to the video. Going over tonight's MLB main slate for tonight on DraftKings. Before we continue though, if you could leave a like, subscribe to the channel, I'd really appreciate that. You can also follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. And also if you're playing MMA this weekend on DraftKings, my friend came on the channel and posted his UFC cheat sheet and his model breakdown. Goes over all the fights and everything. So I'd recommend checking that out if you're going to be playing. We had a really nice week last week and should continue as it has all year pretty much. So the NASCAR race is going to be tomorrow night, so all the content's going to be out tonight. So we got a nice busy day going, but we'll get through it. So anyway, let's get into the MLB sheet. So Zach Wheeler is going to be the SP1 tonight for me, 9,700. It's the best matchup on the board versus Miami. They have a 27% K rate, .093 ISO, .264 WOBA, and he's allowing the least amount of hard contact on the slate, and he's a big favorite at home versus Miami. Now, there is some weather concern, but I think the game should be fine. Kevin Roth has it as, I think, a yellow, so it's not too bad. So definitely like Zach Wheeler today, as long as the weather's permitting it. And then Justin Verlander, 11,000. He's really pricey, that's why he's second. I mean, he's the best play from a raw points point of view. And he's been one of, if not the best pitcher so far this year, and he has elite numbers all around. His K rate is unmatched on this slate. It's, at 34%, and he strikes out lefties a lot, which Texas should have a decent amount of lefties, and he's going to be at home. So I think it's a really good spot for Justin Verlander. If you can afford both of these guys, that'd be awesome. But I don't think, you might not be able to, but there's a lot of value on the slate tonight. Then Eduardo Rodriguez, 8,800. I love using lefties versus Seattle. I told you guys to play Mike Minor versus them. I want to say it was last week. And I think he had like 13 strikeouts versus them. So they struggle versus lefties. And Erod is a huge favorite, and Seattle has a near 28% carry to lefties. So there's a lot of upside there. And I think he's gonna be in line for the win. So really like Erod. And then Wellington Castillo at catcher is at 300. He's cheap and he hits decently high in the order, and Buck Holes allows a lot of hard contact to righties. And then Danny Jansen, 2,800. Covey's not good at baseball, and he's below 3K. And I really like the Blue Jays tonight versus Covey, so I don't mind if you want to go Jansen. And then Stephen Vogt, 3,600. He hits righties well, and Castillo's susceptible to lefty power, but not like he used to be. I mean, he's becoming a late pitcher this year, so I don't like picking on him, but I mean, I think it's a decent spot for Vogt. There's just not a lot of options at catcher. And then first base, Justin Smoke, 4,000. He should be batting cleanup and versus Covey, and he gives it up to lefties. Smoke has a 246 ISO versus right-handed pitching. Then Matt Carpenter, 3,800. He's always cheap and leading off, and he's always in play. He gets a boost versus the guy with a low K rate as well, because Carpenter will strike out a lot. And then Joey Votto, 3,500. I just really like Carp, but without the power. Rodriguez has been bad, especially versus lefties, and it's a bad park for hitting, so it's some downgrades, but I do think Joey Votto's in a good spot, and he's pretty cheap. And then second base, Jason Kipnis, 3,000. I love attacking Montas with lefties, and Kip is dirt cheap, and he usually hits second, so this is one of my favorite value plays on the board. I'd lock him in your cash games. And then Joe Panic, 3,100. I like saving in second today, and he's just so cheap, and he's leading off, so kind of just like Kipnis. And then Adam Frazier, 3,800, another guy who's cheap and leading off versus Wainwright, who sucks versus lefties, and this guy has a little bit more power than the other two guys. But these guys are pretty much all the same. It's just Kipnis is cheapest. And then at third base, Nolan Arenado, they're 5,700. Someone say a below average lefty in cores. That's usually when we play Arenado. He crushes lefties with 380 ISO, is one of the top home run threats tonight. Plus, he's been hot recently. Then J-Ram, 4,500. Don't like the park, but always like lefties versus Montas, and J-Ram has better numbers versus righties with a 274 ISO, and he doesn't strike out a lot, so he usually puts the ball in play, and he's been getting a little bit better recently, so definitely like J-Ram. He's kind of a streaky guy. When he starts to get hot, he gets really hot, and so it might be time that he's going to get hot, so we want to jump on board before his price starts to go up. And then Matt Carpenter, we already went over, and then Trevor Story, 5,600. Really the same reason as Arenado. He's got over 300 ISO versus lefties, and it's Coors Field. And then Francisco Lindor, same reasons as J-Ram. And then Freddie Galvis, 3,800. He should be batting second. He's another lefty versus Covey, and he's a switch hitter, so he really doesn't get affected much by the bullpen, whoever they bring in. And then, so the top play tonight's going to be actually Mike Trout, 5,700. So if there's ever a night that want to play Mike Trout, it's tonight. Dan Straley is straight garbage, and Trout is the best righty hitter in the league. So he's my top priority in cash games tonight. It's just an awesome spot. And then Mookie Betts, 5,100. They keep driving his price down every once in a while for some reason. He's been getting a lot better recently, and Boston's in a great spot at home versus Swanson tonight, who has shown reverse splits to righties, so actually the righties can attack him. I believe he's given up over 300 ISO so far. It's a small sample size, but still it's pretty substantial. And then Shohei Ohtani, 4,900. So like I said, Straily really sucks, and they're implied 6.33 runs tonight, which is one of the highest we've seen all season. And the bullpen sucks, so I really like the Angels tonight. 341 ISO versus righties. I know I don't have a lot of them listed, just because they didn't make the value cut, I guess, but the whole lineup's pretty much in play. And then mid-range, we have JD Martinez, 4,800. They refused to price him above 5K for consecutive days in a row. So just see why I like Mookie Betts for the same reasons as JD. Bryce Harper, 4,800. Bailey sucks versus lefties, and Harper hits righties really well, so it's just science. And then Chris Davis, 4,200. He's cheap, tons of power versus righties, and Cody Anderson sucks. Trust me. And then value outfield, Jackie Bradley Jr., 2,900. He's below 3K now, and I know he sucks, but he only needs a hit and a run to pay off. And he's always got a little bit of stolen base upside. And then Randall Grichuk, 3,800. 248 ISO versus righties, and I really like Toronto tonight, so don't mind using him. And if you're going to stack Toronto, I see how you can leave him out of the lineup. And then Carlos Gonzalez, 3,300. He's cheap lefty versus Montas, and he usually hits around 5th, so it's going to give him an RBI opportunity. And then for the core plays, we have Zach Wheeler, 9,700. Jason Kipnis, 3,000. And Mike Trout, 5,700. And the impactful weather is going to be the Angels and the Orioles tonight. I think Roth has that as an orange, but he says it's going to delay in play, so that might be a really late start. But make sure that game plays, because I really do like that. So, 1 second, Duke. Sorry, it's my dog. And then the Miami Mets game has a chance of rain as well, but I think we should be okay. But remember, like I said, make sure to be on Twitter and keep an look for the updates on that. And the top stacks are going to be, for me, are going to be the Angels, the Red Sox, the Indians, the Blue Jays, and the Rockies. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for the video. If you have any questions, you can comment below. Feel free to follow me on Twitter at cpen_16. Check out the UFC video and the NASCAR video coming out tonight. And anyway, good luck today.